Yeah, I've pretty much been here the whole time. I lived in Las Vegas for about 22 years. I originally started my first hospitality job working for an ice cream shop. I went to UNLV, graduated with a degree in food service management. So I think one thing that's great that resonates with American clientele is the freshness of our food, how we source our ingredients. Our menu is not extensive. It's not super complicated. What you see is what you get on the plate. It's very beautiful, and it's difficult to hide quality, especially when you have very simple items. Everything's very simple accentuation of natural ingredients, so you must start with the best product, be that our seafood or our vegetables and fruits. So everything is incredibly high quality to begin with, and I think, the fact that it is so simple but so beautiful is something that makes us very popular. One thing I think is very unique is the amount of cultures that we encounter on a daily basis. Las Vegas is a melting pot, and we get visitors from all over the world every day, throughout the year. Different types of clientele, be it families or business guests, different types of the year. And being able to offer your concept to all of those different, types of clientele is a unique experience. And one thing that I love about our culture itself and the way that we operate, we're more upscale and similar to fine dining, but in a very approachable style. Our offerings are meant to be shared family style. So even in a formal business environment, what I love about Milos is that everything is meant to be family style. So where you would break a formal business barrier in dining, or it might be a little uncomfortable with guests you're not typically familiar with, in that way, it kind of forces guests to pass plates around the table and kind of, may I offer you some of this? May I share some of that? So I love that about this restaurant is it makes that a little bit more warm and welcoming environment. One thing I love about Milos too is we've been around since 1979. Our flagship location's in Montreal.
Oh,
We did not start doing any commercial marketing until about a year ago. We were on word of mouth business for almost 50 years prior to that. So now that we have a little bit more of a social media footprint, that we're kind of getting into that realm, we have beautiful ways of showing the preparations of our dishes, the way things are shared, the places we source our ingredients from. And so I think that that is a way for us to integrate ourselves into the more modern market, and a little bit younger clientele, being that, everything is based off of social media these days. I think it's a beautiful way to, show what we sell every day and what we have to offer.
yes.
Another thing that I love too is the fish market. So all of our restaurants have, all of our locations have a fish market. And like I said, it's unique. It's different every single day. Depending upon the offerings that we get, there's no cookie cutter menu per se. We place orders with the fishermen overseas that we've sourced our products from, and we may not get everything every day. So that's what makes it very unique. Everything is going to be incredibly fresh, and you might have something one day, you might not receive it the next, but we might get something else. So there's a little bit of ebb and flow there, and I think that's what's beautiful about the captains. Taking the guests from the table, inviting them to the market, and showing them everything we have to offer every day. And that's part of the culture as well. Like being able to describe to the guest, offering something, an entree that's going to feed the entire group, which is another unique situation about Milos. You might be able to find a fish where we're going to feed 4 to 6 guests. And so that's another unique thing that's about our culture, being able to share family style. The Greek salad, for example, we share family style. So all of those different options, and then the captains describe that to the guests as well. Our dishes are meant to be shared family style to create a very warm and welcoming, and to mimic the cuisine and style that hosts spot in home. And so offer those homemade dishes in a warm environment, and kind of introduce the world to the Greek culture and the hospitality that he was so used to us. Very traditional, but it's so simple and classic that I think it still almost has a modern aspect to it. It kind of transcends times. There's nothing really old or outdated. It's still very simple, very fresh. All of our restaurants mimic each other in design. Very similar elements of light and bright colors, open spaces, warm lighting. So I think that's something that is very true to us, and the technology aspect isn't so popular with us. One thing that I think is super innovative for us is the fact that we're continually able to offer such beautiful and fresh ingredients every single day. Being able to fly these things, across the world, and it was swimming 32 hours ago. It's very unique. It's like not always, nothing's ever frozen. Everything's always going to be fresh for you. Um, and the different selections where, maybe nobody will ever be able to travel to Scotland, but we can have fresh langoustines on the ice that were, swimming yesterday. So, I think that's something a little bit, different and innovative about that. Our cocktail menu, for example, might be a little bit more innovative. We have a little bit more freedom in, design with our cocktails, where we have fresh juices, different ingredients that we use, different Greek spirits, for example, that we can create different unique cocktails. We're a little bit more traditional style of dining. I think when a lot of people who aren't super familiar with the traditional styles of Greek dining, they might think a little bit more street food. They might be looking for feta fries or falafel or like gyros, which we don't offer. We have a little bit more traditional style. So I think that's one of the things that is important about us staying true to our culture. And we educate our guests along the way. Instead of just saying, no, we don't offer those things, we explain to them the type of great food that we offer and the reason we offer that. I think it's a beautiful style of dining that is becoming more and more prevalent, especially in the city of Las Vegas and on the West Coast. And I think just continuing that same aspect of hospitality and, being open to showing your guests how to dine that way. That's how we became so successful is educating your guests along the way and showing them how to enjoy your food and showing them how to create that style of dining because it's something they're not used to. And so I think it's a perfect environment to do so. And like I said, just being open and hospitable to your guests and keeping them along the way and enjoying with them and creating a guest experience. Stay true to who you are, I think, is incredibly important. And in different areas, you're able to do things a little bit differently. And we definitely had to accommodate small aspects of our operation to accommodate the culture and the guests that we see from around the world in this area. So we might do small things that are a little bit different than some of our other locations. But staying true to your culture, I think, is incredibly important in your image and the way that you portray your guest experience to your guests and painting that same picture. Consistency is one thing that is beautiful about, I think anyone's concept, being able to stay true to who they are and being able to stay true to their menu. What I love about hospitality school is I think everybody already comes in with a passion to serve, which is incredibly important in any country that offers hospitality. And, any concept, be that, in the hotel aspect or in the restaurant aspect, and continuing to push through with your passion of wanting to serve guests. This day and age, especially in a hotel like this, you have over 60 concepts of places to eat. Someone can walk 10 feet across the hallway and find another place to dine. What is so difficult is everyone's going to have great food, but not everyone has incredible guest experience. So managing to continue to push that passion not only in yourself, but to inspire that passion in your team when you move into a management position and creating that passion for your team to stay innovative when it comes to guest experience and going above and beyond and not just doing the basic service standards or steps of service, but finding those little things that you can add to the guest experience to really create loyal guests. And, it's people always remember, they had a delicious meal, but, when you make someone feel truly special and feel like you went out of the way to create a beautiful guest experience for them and offering little sentiments or whatever, little things you can do to add to that, I think is a beautiful thing to continue to push because it's difficult to find, a really good guest experience. One thing I tell my captains all the time is, if someone might seem a little more reserved in what they're ordering because maybe they're not, looking to spend so much, if they're going, okay, well, maybe let's pick a side, offer the additional sides. This is the sentiment. Say, what, I truly want you to taste this. I know that you're trying to decide, but this one is, I want this for my heart. I want you to try this. So, those are little things that we can do don't mean so much to us, but are huge for guests, So giving them the empowerment to really create a beautiful guest experience is both a vision and something I absolutely try to excel.